Hello,
Hi,
everybody. Welcome
everyone.
back. Oops. Okay, so today we're doing conversation 32, and it's going to be on identity and personality. So, Eileen, you want to get right into it?
So we're going to start off with identity and give you a little background definitions on what identity is to kind of get more familiar, okay? Identity, the fact of being who and what a person or thing is. So, basically, who you are is what identity is, right? Another one definition of identity is who you are, the way you think about yourself, the way you are viewed by the world, and the characteristics that define you. Identity is the qualities, beliefs, personality, looks, and or expressions that make a person or group. One can regard the awareness and the categorizing of identity as positive or as destructive. A psychological identity relates to self-image, self-esteem, and individuality.
Okay. So, there are multiple types of identity that come together with an individual and can be broken down into the following. So with identity, there's different things that come into play, like cultural identity, personal identity, ethnic, national, religious, gender identity, and disability. Other examples are like your, what is it, national insurance number, fingerprints, passports, birth certificate. So all of that is what identifies you physically. But right now we're trying to talk more about internally, right?
Yeah.
How you are as a person.
Yeah, like mentally and the way you express your emotions. But some of these do come into play, like what kind of culture you come from, where you were born, how you were raised,
Where you grew up.
Yeah, like what religious background, are you spiritual, are you not spiritual, what's the other ones real quick? Yeah,
Your
yeah,
profession also. I think
yeah,
that
legally,
plays.
who you are legally.
Yeah.
I feel like profession plays a role. How you identify yourself personally, or how you are with friends, how you are with family, because those are two separate things, man. Sometimes they are. Yeah. Or even relationships, if you want to go there, how you form with relationships with other people,
Or how are your friends? Who you hang out with?
Because sometimes you could be like separate versions of yourself. Think about it, man. Depending on what the setting's like, you kind of change your personality to kind of adjust it to
that
that
does make
environment.
sense. Yeah.
Like if you're at a funeral, or if you're like trying to learn.
But like
at
the
a
other way,
school.
the other way that I was looking at it is like if you hang out with your friends, how you are with your friends versus how you are with your parents.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True.
Okay.
Or with your partner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the background. So
I was gonna do that. Okay, so background and personality. Once again, a couple more definitions to get you familiar. So the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive behavior. So it's only like distinctive to that individual person, And so personality refers to identity. It refers to individual differences in characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. So those are three big ones on how you identify like someone's personality. And the study of personality focuses on two broad areas. One of them is understanding individual differences in particular personality characteristics such as sociability or irritability. So how you go about socializing, how you are when you're irritated, the kind of like true. How you are
when you get mad.
Yeah. And so personality is defined as the characteristic sets of behaviors, cognitions, and emotional patterns that evolve from biological and environmental factors, because they both play a role. Your genes, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And also in the environment, how you were influenced from the environment. While there is no generally agreed upon definition of personality, most theories focus on motivation and psychological interactions with one's environment. Environment plays a role for sure. Like how you're raised, that's an environment as well,
Mm-hmm.
Even social settings.
Okay. So I wanted to get a little bit into the personality types. So, because there's a few, but I found this one that it's a little bit condensed. Yeah. So it kind of like gives you like an idea.
There's probably infinite personalities.
Yeah. So, and then if you identify with some of these, then you know a little bit.
That's cool. You know a little bit more about yourself.
So the extroverts are energized by people, enjoy a variety of tasks, a quick pace, and are good at multitasking. There's the sensors. Sensors are realistic people who like to focus on facts, details. They apply common sense and past experiences to find practical solutions to problems. I know a couple people that are like that. Thinkers tend to make their decisions using logical analysis, objectively weighing in pros and cons, and value honesty, consistency, and fairness. I mean, who doesn't like honest people and fair people?
True. Yeah.
Okay. Judges tend to be organized and prepared, like to make and stick to plans, and are comfortable following the rules, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta break the rules.
Yeah,
you know?
You gotta bend them.
Yeah. Okay, introverts are often like working alone and or in small groups, prefer a more deliberate pace, and like to focus on one task at a time. I mean, if that's you, that's you. Intuitives prefer to focus on possibilities and the big picture, easily see patterns, value innovation, and see creative solutions to problems, which is cool because it's like you're thinking outside the box, or you're trying to come up with solutions.
That's cool. Because that could be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
To think outside the box. Yeah.
Feelers tend to be sensitive and cooperative and decide based on their own personal values and how others will be affected by their actions, which is kind of like a selflessness.
Yeah.
So hey, if I do this, it can affect these people.
That's cool because not a lot of people think like that.
No. A lot of people are selfish.
Yeah.
Okay, perceivers. Perceivers prefer to keep their options open, like to be able to act spontaneous, and like to be flexible with making plans. So those are some of the key types of people, but Eileen's gonna get into more detail with I guess some of the most popular finds or searches of personalities.
Yeah. But like with those that you just went over, like sometimes there's people who kind of fit like a bunch of those, you know what I mean? Like you kind of like can get a little bit of like each one. So these the popular ones, the verts, that's what I call them. There's usually this spectrum that people like to form between, that there's just like introverts and extroverts, but in my personal opinion, I like to think that there's just more to it,
Mm-hmm.
like that it's literally a spectrum, it's not just like
these two.
Yeah, it's not just these two. There's still like a little more in between. So, getting to one of the popular ones, introverts. And an introvert is someone who does not like being in social settings. They are more on the quiet side. A shy or reserved person who enjoys spending time alone. A person who prefers calm environments, limits social engagement, or embraces a greater than average preference for solitude. Introversion is a personality trait characterized by a focus on internal feelings rather than on external sources of stimulation. So, introverts are...
I know people that are like that, and I think that they're often misinterpreted.
Yeah, I feel like they are.
Some people would say, oh, well, this person's just like mean, or this person's just like, like, I don't know, like attitude-y or like, whatever.
Yeah, I think they could get confused as like, oh, they're just like too
rude,
cocky to want to or like, you know what I mean?
So,
they could be misunderstood.
But that's their personality, right?
Yeah. And I feel like these type of people, they're like, people who kind of like they get their energy by being alone.
Yeah.
Kind of like independent people.
And also, I feel like if you really want to know who they are, you would have to like actually try to talk to them.
Yeah, you would have to kind of invest
because I feel like
time.
they'll talk to you, but they're just like very quiet and very like to themselves. So
yeah. The type of people that enjoy their alone time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So extrovert, another popular one, is extroverts are usually the life of the party. They are very outgoing and are usually the leader of the group. Like I said, outgoing, overtly expressive. Like they're not afraid to express their thoughts or ideas or opinions. And an extrovert is a friendly person who enjoys talking and being with other people. So extroverts are more on like they kind of depend on people. You know, they like to socialize. They like to be around other people. They kind of get their energy
from
that.
other people.
So you know, kind of like opposite of introvert that enjoys their own company. And then there's other two that I feel like are in the middle of the spectrum, which is first one ambivert, and ambivert is someone whose overall behavior is between introversion and extroversion, a person whose personality has a balance of both like introvert and extrovert features. An ambivert is someone who exhibits qualities of both introversion and extroversion. I feel like that's like the third time repeating the same thing, but so and they can flip into either depending like on their mood, you know, like depending how they're feeling. And so the mood, the context, and goals, you know, it just changes depending on that. Ambiverts have also been called outgoing introverts. An introvert who can be outgoing in certain situations around certain people or when they absolutely need to. So they're kind of a combination of both. I like to think of them as people who, just depending on what the ambiance is like, they'll, you know what I mean? It'll accordingly, like, it'll just bring out, like,
who they
one
are
more out of the other, you know? So that's how I think of them. And then last one is omniverts. An omnivert is someone who can be either different at times. So an ambivert is someone who can be introvert and extrovert. They can be extremely introverted when presented with situations they don't want to be in or that they don't care about. But on the other hand, they can be the life of the party when they are enjoying themselves and want to be there. So, yeah, omnivert, I feel like it just depends, you know. But they can be both, like they're both, you know. They're both types. So,
okay.
So, just wanted to like, oh man.
Shouldn't have touched it, Eileen.
Yeah, just, I don't know if you wanted to kind of share your personal thoughts on those.
I mean, I feel like everybody's different. You know, and it's kind of difficult sometimes when you're a certain way and somebody's different, you know, it's kind of hard for people to comprehend why or understand why the person's like that, but it's just how they are. And, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, sometimes because for me, I feel like I would consider myself more of an extrovert because I like to talk. I like to, you know, hang out. I like bigger groups. I like meeting people. So I feel like it would be kind of difficult for me, like, to kind of understand how introverts think.
Yeah.
What about you? Like,
I identify as an ambivert. Like, I feel like I'm both. I mean, not both. My bad. I feel like it just depends on the environment, you know. And if I feel like I'm like vibing, then you know I'll be a little more on the extrovert side. But if I feel like I'm not, like if I don't really like the environment, like the ambiance, then I'll kind of be like, nah, I'd rather go home and
That's
chill,
funny.
you know, like it's kind of getting
and
boring
see, for
here.
me, I would like to try to I would try to make it the best I can, you know, like try to
make the most of it.
Make the most of it since we're already there. It's like, okay, well, let's try to conversate. Like,
yeah,
who's ready to talk?
Like, I just feel like that would be like the thing that would shut me down if there's no like stimulating conversation going on, then it's
okay.
like,
But if somebody tries to like talk to you, would you be like, oh no, I'm bored, like that's it, like that just did it for you, like you don't want to talk to nobody?
Oh man, that's tough to say, man. I like to think I'm a nice person, you know, and I like to think that, you know, I've come a long way.
But I feel like I think for you, things kill your vibe quick.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. Yeah,
like you don't give it a chance. And for me, like I feel like I do, like I'm just like, you know, whatever, let's just, you know, let's kick it over here, let's not worry about that.
Yeah, because I feel like I'll be like, no, it was whack, and I'm out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's
but
funny.
yeah, man, yeah, I feel like stimulation is key, you know, like for me at least. But yeah, it's cool to know about like all these different types, right, things, and you know how everybody's like individual to themselves. Everybody's like their
Yeah.
own type of person. You know, that's cool.
So
But it makes it interesting, bro. You know, like mix it up with all kinds of people.
yeah, and meet
Yeah. 'Cause
maybe
if
if you
everybody
talk
was
to
the
them,
same,
yeah, if you
how would
talk
that
to them
be?
and try to understand how they are, maybe they can be the total opposite of what you thought.
Yeah, and you get to see different ways that people are, because yeah, like it'd be boring if everybody was the same, you know.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah.
that's all we have. So I mean, if you guys identify with one of these, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
And we'll be back next week. So
And thank you for watching.
thank you for watching. And it's a quick one,
Yeah, it's a quick
but
one.
hopefully you like it. So we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.